Friends, welcome to everyone in my online chemistry class. As you are knowing, your unit test is going to held very soon and MCQ type questions will be asked. So, your preparation should be thoroughly. Then you will be in position to solve such type of questions. Now come on the topic. In my previous lecture, you have studied the drawbacks of Neal-Bohr's atomic model, and one important principle you have learned there, Schrödinger wave equation, and many informations provided by that Schrödinger wave equation. So must remember the formula of Schrödinger. The terminology which are used in that formula, you have to know, focus on them, then you will be in position to understand the facts. Also, the terminology which is used in the Bohr's formula concerned to Bohr's radius and Bohr's energy along with momentum, you have to remember it. All the things should be in your mind, then you will be in position to solve related problems of that chapter. And children, in today's lecture, we are going to study one more very important point, that is known as dual nature or wave nature of electron, and that is also called de Broglie equation. So, what is the meaning of dual nature, or what is the meaning of dual particle nature, or what is de Broglie equation? Just we are going to study what are these. So, on the basis of previous knowledge, we are knowing that on the basis of that is either Ford atomic model, or by Bohr's atomic model, or by Schrödinger wave equation, that electron is a negatively charged minute particle. An electron is a negatively charged very minute particle. But in 1924, a French physicist, Louis de Broglie, stated that electron is not only a particle, it behaves as a wave also. And for the verification of this point, he provided an important relationship between a particle nature and a wave nature of electron, and that equation was termed de Broglie equation. So first come on the main point. What is the meaning of dual nature or wave nature of electron, and what is de Broglie equation? So dual nature or wave nature of electron means, according to de Broglie, electron behaves as well as a particle and as well as a wave. Means it possessing both the properties of particle and wave. That's why this is called dual nature of electron, and this was formulated in the respect of wavelength, mass, momentum, and find out a relation, and that relation was called de Broglie equation. And the main basis of finding out of this relation is what? That is based on quantum theory concept and use of Einstein mass energy relationship. For the derivation of de Broglie equation, he used two principles, one concerned to, that is quantum theory, means photon, what is the energy of photon, and also correlate it with, that is Einstein mass energy relationship. and by combining these two, he derived an important equation called the Broglie equation. So, how it is derived? So, you are knowing that energy of photon is represented by E, and mathematically that is equals to h nu. I have taught you what is h nu. H nu means quanta, and quanta means packets of energies. A small packet of energies is a quanta. Mathematically, its energy is represented by E, and mathematically it is equal to h nu, where h represents the Planck constant and nu is the frequency, and this may be also written as such hc upon lambda, because frequency nu is this one. Nu is the notation of frequency and lambda is the notation for wavelength. So nu is c upon lambda, where c is the speed of light and lambda is the wavelength. Okay, suppose this is the first equation, and according to Einstein mass energy relationship, energy is given by formula E is mc square. E is equals to mc square, where E is the energy of the particle, that is electron, m is the mass of the particle, and c is the speed of light. Now comparing equation 1 and 2, left side of both is equal, so right side will be also equal according to mathematics. By comparing equation 1 and 2, if the left side energy side is equal, then surely right side will be also equal. So this, on comparing, this can be written as hc upon lambda is mc square. Am I right, student? So this c will cut with this c. So what is the result? So become h upon lambda is mc. Replacing this c means speed of light, replacing this c by v, where v is the velocity of the particle. Suppose replacing c by v, where v is representing the velocity of the particle. So this may be written as h upon lambda is m into v. And children, you are knowing that in the case of physics, the product of mass into velocity is nothing, it is a momentum of the particle. Product of mass into velocity is a momentum, and momentum is represented by p. Means you can say that m into v is equals to p, where p represents the momentum. So you can write it h upon lambda is equal to p, or lambda is equals to h by p. Or from here you can also write it lambda is equals to h by mv. From this you can write it lambda is h upon mv. So what is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength, h is the Planck constant, m is the mass, and v is the velocity. In similar way, here lambda is the wavelength, h is the Planck constant, and p is the momentum. So from these two, suppose this is coming equation number 3, this is also suppose 3 dash. So from these two equations, it is very clear that this lambda is inversely proportional to velocity, or you can say inversely proportional to momentum, means lambda proportional to 1 by p. Okay, means wavelength of the moving particle is inversely proportional to the momentum of the particle. So lambda proportional to 1 upon p. So from this equation 4, it is very clear that this is representing the wave nature as well as particle nature of the matter, and matter means here electron. Okay, this expression number 4 consists of lambda, which is generally used in the case of a wave, and p is the momentum used in the case of particles. So this expression 4 containing lambda and wavelength and momentum both, and this is possessing both the property, means it is showing particle as well as wave character. That's why this is called, that is giving the verification of the first point, that is dual nature of electron or wave nature of electron, means electron behaves as a particle and as well as a wave. This is confirmed by equation 4. Alright. So from this, it is also clear that this lambda is h upon mv. So you are knowing that h is a constant and m is a constant. So replacing this constant by a proportionality constant, you can write lambda proportional to 1 upon v. Means wavelength of the particle will be inversely proportional to the difference of velocity also. So this is the meaning of this dual nature, and this equation lambda is h by mv or lambda is equal to h by p refers to de Broglie equation, which provides a relationship between wavelength, Planck constant, mass of the particle and velocity of the particle, or wavelength, Planck constant and momentum of the particle, and that equation is called de Broglie equation. Alright. Now you have to discuss in the same point what is the relationship of this de Broglie equation with kinetic energy. So how this can be related with kinetic energy? So relation between wavelength and kinetic energy of the particle. A relationship between the wavelength and kinetic energy of the particle. Suppose the kinetic energy of the particle is represented by E, and mass of the particle by small m and velocity of the particle by v, then mathematically kinetic energy E is equals to half mv square. As you are knowing, let E represent the kinetic energy, m represent the mass of the particle, and v representing the velocity. Then kinetic energy of the particle will be given as E is equals to half mv square. And according to de Broglie equation, you are knowing that lambda is h upon m into v. This is your de Broglie equation. This is your de Broglie equation. So this is kinetic energy formula, this is de Broglie equation formula, and here this equation can be written as 2E is mv square. May be written, or you can write it v square is 2E by m, where E is the kinetic energy and m is the mass of the particle and v is the velocity, and or you can write it v is equal to under root 2E by m. V is under root 2E by m. Okay. Now put this value of v in equation number 2. Suppose this is equation 2. Put the value of this v in equation number 2. Then you will find that lambda is equal to h upon m into under root 2e by m. Can be written children? So this may be written as h by root m. M can be written as into root m. Root m into root 2e by m. Root 2e by m. So this m and this m will be cancelled out. So that become what? Become h by root 2e into m, and that is equal to lambda. So lambda is equal to root 2e by m, and this is the relation, this equation number 3, showing the relationship between kinetic energy and wavelength, where lambda represents the wavelength, h is the Planck constant, E is the kinetic energy, and m is the mass of the particle. Okay, so this showing the relationship between, that is, kinetic energy and wavelength. Now next point, in this section you have to know that what are the limitations of this de Broglie principle or dual nature. So the main limitation of this de Broglie equation or principle is that this principle is only applicable for the microscopic particles like electron, proton, neutrons, or you can say for photons. And this principle or this equation is not applied for the microscopic particles like balls. Okay, so this is only applicable for microscopic particles, means like photon like particles. They may be electron, proton, neutron or photon, and that is not applicable for microscopic, that is ball like particles. So this is the limitation of this de Broglie equation or dual nature principle. So must remember it, and in next lecture I will discuss with you on certainty principle that is given by Heisenberg. So our next objective will be uncertainty principle or Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So children, learn properly and try to derive this formula and make the relationship of kinetic energy with wavelength. So that's all today. Thank you very much. Be sincere.